Hi guys. So this morning I have my upper GI test. It was requested by my surgeon. He wanted to make sure that I don't have GERD because I have occasional acid reflux. And apparently he can go in and fix that. It's a hiatal hernia, and so he can go in and fix that while he's going in and doing my sleeve. So I have that test today. I wasn't able to consume anything via mouth after 10 p.m. last night in preparation for this. My appointment is at 8:40 a.m., so it's not too terribly bad. It's not like I'm starving. So more to come after my appointment. Okay, so I'm here ready to get my upper GI test. They have me wearing scrubs, see, scrubs. They'll have me drink this drink that they'll take pictures of going down to see if I need to have my hiatal hernia fixed to get rid of my acid reflux. But the machine, they're gonna have me stand up at first and then lay down. So if you can see, so this is the image, and then I will stand here. And then when they have me lay down, this whole machine lays flat, and then they'll have me lay down on it. And then they'll have me flip and flop depending on what they need for images. The doctor is behind a wall, and so he'll be telling me the directions. The liquid I'm taking, they said, is not radioactive or anything. It's just helps the images come out better. And then they want me to eat something fairly quickly afterwards to avoid constipation. So that's really fun. Anyways, more after I'm done. Okay, so I am now done with my upper GI test. And let me tell you, that was a different experience. So what they had me do, you guys saw the machine. They had me stand on the platform of the machine while I drank this liquid, even if you can call it a liquid. It was so thick and dense. It was probably 8 ounces of liquid, but it felt like it weighed a pound. And it was just so dense. It was like the consistency of, gosh, I don't even know. It was terrible, like cement. It was so bad. Anyways, they had me drink that and kind of like chug it, if that's even possible. It didn't really have a taste to it. It had kind of a grainy texture to it, but no real taste. It wasn't like it was nasty in the taste, but it was weird drinking it and trying to chug it. So I took it in like big mouthfuls and big gulps, and that was so weird. So they took some different measurements of my my upper GI while they were while I had that liquid going down. And then what they did is the platform, while I'm standing on it, gets lowered down so that now I'm laying on it. And so I lay on the platform, and then they had me flip over to my stomach. And while I was on my stomach, they had me take big gulps of a drink that tasted the same as the really thick one, but it was thinner. They had me drink it out of a straw, basically as much as I possibly could in big gulps. So that was really interesting. And then so they had me laying on my stomach at that point, and then they had me flip onto my back, and then they raised me up a little bit, and they had me basically chug some water as much as I possibly could. And then they had me doing a few leg lifts and things like that to get the liquid really moving through my system so that they could see the liquid going through, and that's how they test to see if I need a repair done. And then they sat me all the way up and had me stand on the platform, and they had me take a pill with some water and then they took a couple more images. So anyways, the whole process was really interesting. The first and second liquids that I had, they weren't, like I said, they weren't awful, but they weren't really flavored either. It had kind of like a hint, very, very, very light hint of maybe like a cherry flavor, or I associate it with like a red flavor. But not a lot of flavoring, mostly just not tasting like anything. And so I spoke to the doctor after the imaging was done, and he said that he didn't see any significant issues. He wasn't entirely sure if they needed to do a surgical repair. He's gonna look at the images again and get them over to my surgeon so that he will have a better understanding of what to look for when I do go in for my vertical sleeve surgery. See if they have to repair the hiatal, and we'll go from there. I get occasional heartburn and acid reflux. It's not all the time, but I've always just associated it with the types of food that I choose to eat and the fact that I am overweight as to why I do get the acid reflux. So anyways, the appointment was fine. It was a little interesting. I was glad to be able to bring you guys into the exam room so you can kind of see what's going on in there, in case you have to go through the same thing. My next video is going to be all about what I'm packing to go to Southern California for my surgery. I live in Northern Oregon and I have to travel to Southern California, so packing for regular vacation, I got that down. But this is different, and the area that I'm going to, they're in phase 1, so not a lot to do while I'm there. So just basically comfy clothes, PJs, stretch pants, things like that, to get me through from when I have my surgery to 6 days later when I can finally get on an airplane and go home. And so I'll do a packing video. So I'd love your love. If you choose to continue to watch these, awesome. And I'd love it if you would subscribe and share. All right, guys, see you later.